What a night at the Santiago Bernabeu. Real Madrid, against all odds, clawed their way to a thrilling 3-2 victory over Leganes in a match that was anything but routine. With this win, they're now level on points with Barcelona, who play tomorrow. And folks, this title race is catching fire. From the first whistle, this had all the makings of a classic. Ancelotti shuffled his deck, giving some key players a breather after the international break. But even with fresh legs in the lineup, Madrid's sheer class shone through, especially in those flashes of individual brilliance that ended up making the difference. Madrid came out controlling the tempo, probing and prying at a deep-sitting Leganes defense. Early on, Camavinga made a dangerous run into the box, but couldn't quite link up with Mbappe. Then there was Modric, pulling strings like a maestro, 38 years old and still making the game look effortless. Finally, after 30 minutes of tension, the deadlock was shattered in style. Bellingham, who, let's be honest, has been an absolute revelation, threaded a cheeky little flick between two defenders to find Arda Güler. Before the youngster could even take a touch, Oscar Rodriguez came flying in with a reckless challenge. No debate. Clear penalty. Enter Mbappe. Cool as you like, he stepped up and, oh, the audacity, chipped a Panenka straight down the middle while Dimitrovic helplessly dived away. Ice in his veins. Moments like this are why he's one of the best in the world. But just when Madrid thought they had control, bam! 1 minute later, Leganes punched back. A swift attack down the left, a driven cross into the box, and a complete miscue from Lucas Vazquez. The ball fell kindly to Diego Garcia, who slotted it home. Silence in the Bernabeu. You could feel the nerves creeping in. From there, the game went into overdrive. Madrid pushed hard. Brahim Diaz danced past defenders, but saw his shot blocked at the last moment. The Moroccan has really grown into his role, always looking to make things happen. Then, the real shocker, Leganes took the lead. A darting run from Rossier, a slick pass to Oscar Rodriguez, who skipped past his marker and fizzed a ball into the 6-yard box. Dani Rabah was there, sliding it past Lunin. 2-1 to Leganes. Stunned silence. At halftime, the XG stats told the full story. Madrid with 1.77, Leganes with 1.78. A razor-thin battle. For a team fighting relegation, Leganes showed incredible discipline and ruthless counterattacking ability. Oscar Rodriguez, Madrid's very own academy product, was running the show in midfield. But if there's one thing we've learned over the years, it's this. You never count out Real Madrid. Champions find a way. And oh, did they find a way? 90 seconds. That's all it took. Just 90 seconds into the second half, Jude Bellingham dragged Madrid level with a goal that perfectly summed up this team, relentless, fearless, and dripping with quality. It was pure chaos in the box. Fran Garcia slipped a tidy ball to Bellingham, who fired off a low rocket. Dimitrovic got a hand to it, but the rebound fell to Brahim, whose effort was somehow cleared off the line by Tapia. The ball pinged off the crossbar, bouncing right back into play. And there was Bellingham, sliding in like a man possessed, smashing it home from close range. This is what makes Bellingham special. He's got that uncanny instinct, that knack for being in the right place at the right time. He's not just a midfielder, he's a force of nature. 21 years old, and already a cornerstone of this Madrid side. What a signing. That equalizer lit a fire under the Bernabeu, and Madrid were in full throttle. Just minutes later, Brahim nearly put them ahead with a stunning curler that had Dimitrovic rooted to the spot. The Moroccan's footwork is unreal. Feint left, feint right, boom. Shot away. On another day, that's nestling in the bottom corner. The tension cranked up as both managers made their moves. Ancelotti had a trio of superstars, Vinicius, Rodrigo, and Valverde, warming up on the sidelines. Meanwhile, Leganes were hanging on for dear life, sinking deeper and deeper, at times playing what looked like a 6-man backline. Madrid's dominance was overwhelming. By the 68th minute, they had fired off 20 shots, 9 on target, well above their season average. More telling? Leganes hadn't registered a single shot since the 50th minute. It was relentless pressure, but Madrid still needed that one stroke of genius to break through. Enter Kylian Mbappe, minute 76. Madrid won a free kick just outside the box after Tapia clattered into Rodrigo. The setup was pure artistry. Mbappe rolled it to Fran Garcia, who stopped it dead, and then, boom, Mbappe unleashed a curling missile, threading it right through the Leganes wall and into the bottom corner. Dimitrovic? helpless. The placement, surgical. The execution, flawless. Mbappe isn't just fitting in at Madrid, he's thriving. That's now 8 goal contributions in his last 7 home games. 7 goals, 2 assists. He doesn't just show up, he delivers when it matters most. That's what makes him a true Galactico. But give credit to Leganes. They never waved the white flag. In the 88th minute, Oscar Rodriguez whipped in a perfect cross for Munir, but the former Barca man couldn't get his header on target. And then, in the 92nd minute, Madrid had the chance to put the game to bed. Vinicius and Mbappe flying forward with the Leganes defense in pieces. Vinicius tried an outside-of-the-boot cross to Mbappe, but Rossier came sliding in with a game-saving interception. Then came the real test. 8 minutes of stoppage time. The anxiety was written all over Ancelotti's face. This was a must-win to stay level with Barcelona in a title race that's heating up by the second. And that's where Madrid showed their other side. The grit, the resilience, the ability to suffer when it matters most. They can play dazzling football, sure, but they also know how to dig in and grind out results. That's what separates champions from contenders. The full-time expected goals tell the story. Madrid with 3.03 G, Leganes with 2.88 by G. Let that sink in. A relegation-battling side going toe-to-toe with the La Liga giants. That's a testament to what Borja Jimenez has built. He's instilled a fearlessness in this Leganes squad, a belief that, on their day, they can scrap with anyone. But tonight belonged to Carlo Ancelotti and his masterclass in game management. His decision to rotate the squad after the grueling international break? Spot on. It's easy to overlook just how much travel takes a toll, especially on players jetting across the globe for South American qualifiers. But Madrid didn't just survive the rotation. They thrived. Arda Güler, the young Turkish sensation, keeps proving why Madrid snatched him up. Won the penalty, looked lively, oozed confidence. Brahim Diaz, a constant spark, always trying to make something happen. And then came the reinforcements. Vinicius and Rodrigo entering right when Madrid needed them most. That injection of speed and sharpness shattered Leganes' defensive wall. Paired with Mbappe, they form an attacking trio that's pure box office. And Luka Modric? What can you even say at this point? Captain for the night, still running the show at 38. His vision, his control, the way he dictated the tempo when Madrid were chasing the game, pure class. The man ages, but his magic never fades. For Leganes, this loss stings. Leading at halftime, battling so fiercely, only to leave empty-handed. They remain stuck in 18th, with relegation breathing down their necks. But if they fight like this in their remaining games, especially against teams around them, they have a real shot at survival. Next up, a must-win against Osasuna. But they'll have to do it without Oscar Rodriguez, who picked up a costly booking. Losing him is a major blow. He was brilliant tonight. And here's a stat that should have Leganes fans sweating. They've now conceded 19 goals in the final 15 minutes of games this season. That's second worst in the league. Is it physical fatigue? A mental lapse? Whatever it is, it needs fixing fast. For Madrid, the title race is sizzling. Level on points with Barcelona, who now have all the pressure heading into their game tomorrow. One slip-up, and Madrid could take control at the summit. And let's talk about this team's ability to rise from the dead. Again, they stormed out of the halftime break like a team possessed. That's 11 goals in the first 15 minutes after the restart this season. Only Barcelona have more. That's not luck. That's Ancelotti using that halftime window to tweak, adjust, and send his team back out with a killer instinct. Tonight wasn't just about the win. It was about Madrid's depth, their resilience, their ability to grind out results when they aren't at their brilliant best. And that right there is what makes them a team built for trophies. No time to bask in the glory. Real Madrid are right back in the trenches. Up next, a massive Copa del Rey semifinal second leg against Real Sociedad on Tuesday. That's life at a club like Madrid. Win, move on, repeat. But Ancelotti will be quietly satisfied knowing he managed his squad well tonight, keeping key players fresh for the battles ahead. The domestic double? Very much on the table. And speaking of big performances, let's take a second to appreciate Kylian Mbappe. 2 goals, one a cheeky Panenka, the other a pinpoint free kick. These are the moments Madrid envisioned when they chased him for years. He's not just a goal machine, he's a match winner, a game breaker, a difference maker. Even scarier, he's still settling in. The chemistry with Vinicius, Bellingham, and Rodrigo is growing by the game. Imagine what that front line will look like in a few months, let alone a few seasons. Terrifying. Credit where it's due. Andre Lunin stepped up again. Filling in for the injured Courtois is no small task, but the Ukrainian keeper was alert, decisive, and pulled off some big moments, especially when Diego Garcia came knocking. The competition for the number one spot is going to be intense when Courtois returns, but Lunin is making a serious case for more minutes. Defensively, it wasn't all smooth sailing. Asensio and Rudiger had their hands full, and Vázquez's mistake for the first Leganes goal was a reminder that Madrid's backline isn't invincible. But their second-half response? That's the mentality of champions. They regrouped, tightened up, and shut the door when it mattered. And how about Fran Garcia? A constant menace down the left flank. His awareness to set up Mbappe's free kick was sharp, and his vision for Bellingham's equalizer showed real quality. At 24, he's proving to be a solid, reliable piece in Ancelotti's setup. This game was the perfect reminder of why La Liga is one of the toughest, most unpredictable leagues in world football. On paper, Madrid should have rolled over a struggling Leganes side. But football doesn't work like that. Leganes came with a plan, with courage, and with the quality to make Madrid sweat. The difference? Madrid had the firepower, the resilience, and that unshakable will to win. For the neutrals, this was peak La Liga. Drama, swings in momentum, stunning goals, tactical battles. For Madridistas, it was a nerve-wracking roller coaster that ended in sweet, hard-earned relief. Now, the road ahead gets even tougher. Madrid are fighting on multiple fronts, and every match from here on out will test their depth, their endurance, and their hunger for silverware. But with a squad packed with world-class talent, and a coach who knows exactly how to navigate these high-stakes moments, they'll back themselves to go all the way. One thing's for sure, this team never knows when it's beaten. That spirit, that refusal to fold under pressure, is what makes Madrid, well, Madrid. As the final whistle blew and the Bernabeu exhaled in triumph, this much was clear. These 3 points could be massive come May. For now, Madrid savor the win, but only briefly. Another battle awaits, and this team, they're built for the fight.